All right, we've got some exciting news to bring you today as we introduce you to the new facility for TAP Ministries. It's been a prayer of mine, it's been a concern of mine since I took over TAP a couple of years ago to see TAP get out of the current facility that they're in and into something more conducive. The old facility has served us well for about 20 years, but times have changed. And so the building's in some disrepair. I've talked a little bit about that. Water leaks in the ceiling, some mold issues here or there. It's kind of awkward to get materials in and out. It's kind of a back a long hallway. If you've been there, you know what I mean. But even more than that, TAP is surrounded by a child's ministry. It's basketball training, after school care, things like that. And so we're right next to the little boy's bathroom in what kind of is a school setting. And it makes it a little awkward. There's just little kids around all the time. Our door is the old locker room door, so it's kind of tied to the old bathroom. And so I think it puts us in a bad situation. Unfortunately, it's the 21st century. It's 2022, and we've got to be careful with where we're at, with who's there, with a lot of children running around that are not with us, and we're not with them, and so there's a potential for a bad problem there. So we want to get TAP into a better place, and so we have this building that was just constructed. It's brand new, and it was built intentionally for TAP to use. Just for full disclosure, I am part of the ownership that built this building. We built it with the intention of being able to rent it to TAP and rent it at a controlled price for something TAP can afford. So there's some things to do. As I looked around a little bit here, as I've shown you around maybe just a little bit there with the camera, the ownership side is going to still put insulation in. They're going to put electrical service to the building, which is not done yet, but is scheduled, and lighting in the building. So there'll be electric panel, lights in the building, and insulation on the walls. And that's the extent of what the ownership side is going to do. So there are some things that we need to do as TAP, and things that maybe you would like to help with, things that you can partner with. First of all, on the walls, it'll be insulation, but we need to put up some type of a harder surface. Obviously we have shelves, and we're going to put shelves up against it, but something so the books don't fall through and break that paper on the insulation and so forth. Based on the cost of building materials today, probably just going to go with drywall. Plywood's just way too expensive anymore, at least at this point. And I don't know that we can wait for it to come down. We got to put something on the walls before we move in. So probably just put drywall, not finish the drywall, just put it up, paint it, and then put shelves up against it and protect that insulation that's on there and make for a better finish behind the shelves. So we need to buy some drywall. I figure we need about 24 sheets of drywall in here. We're going to build a little office in the corner. I kind of tried to show that when I panned around a little bit, but we want to put a little office in the corner, a little office for me, a desk where we can keep some things out of the public, so to speak, and back in a private setting there where we can work and do some paperwork and things like that. So that won't cost too much. A little bit of framing, I'll do it all myself. We'll have to frame up and again put some drywall around it and stuff. We don't need too many shelves. We're going to use everything we have. All the shelves that we have at the current facility, we're going to be able to repurpose here in some form. And so all of the shelves that we want to put in, that we have will be used here, but we just need a few more. We need some more. We want to better build shelves specifically for Sunday school material, something that makes it more conducive to organize and to view and things like that. And so we do need to build a few shelves, so there's a little bit of expense there. Probably the biggest expense we'll have moving forward here for TAP is to put some type of heating and cooling system in this building. It's not made with any, and obviously the facility we have now has heat. In fact, a lot of heat. That's one of the other issues with it. The heat just keeps cranking. We have no control over it. Some of the walls in our current facility today, and it's 70 degrees outside, are too hot to touch. The heat is just all out of control in that building. So thus some of the mold, thus some of the moisture we have. So we have heat, but we're gonna need some heat in here. at least a little bit. It's a warehouse, we need some heat, and then with that probably some cooling. We don't have any air conditioning or really any ventilation. We can't even open a window in our current facility, so probably put in, recommendation is to put in some type of a mini split. That'll give us some heating and cooling, and again, be very affordable and efficient. So that's really the crux of what we would need to be able to move in. The only other thing that we don't have here is a bathroom. There's no running water at this building, we could have had water, but we weren't allowed to hook up to the public sewage here, the public septic system. We weren't allowed to hook up to that. So we'll look at that. One of the recommendations was maybe we'll put in like a composting toilet, be like an off-grid type system, because we don't need it that much. It's not an issue for me. I live nearby. I can go home. But if we have guests that come, and we do, if missionaries stop by, some of them travel to come here. Right now, my best alternative is to go to the McDonald's a mile down the street. And I want something a little bit better than that. So we might look at that. That might cost us a little bit. So we'll put together some figures on that. I think we have a few $100s in drywall. I think we have about $2,000 in a heating system. I think we have maybe $500, $600 in some new shelving and materials to build shelving that we can use. And then if we do decide to put in a bathroom, we can do that at any time. We would need to buy a composting toilet and some other things, build some walls. There'd probably be $1,200 or so in that. So just to give you an idea. Obviously, one of the things, I don't think this is a big challenge for us, is rent at the existing facility has been $200 a month. And that has included all utilities. We don't have to pay anything on top of that. The rent for this building is going to be, depending on exactly how we hook up the electric, but it's going to be in the $450 to $500 a month range. And so very affordable. As again, on the ownership side, we were approached by someone who wanted to rent this right away for about $1,200 a month. And so we want to give TAP a good deal on that, and we're going to. But we need to pay for the building too. So about $450 to $500 a month rent, depending again whether we hook up the electric to existing places or whether we have our own service here and are responsible for that ourselves as TAP. So we'll work on the details of that moving forward. We have the big trailer as well. They gave us a big storage trailer, 45-foot semi-trailer. I've already worked on that. I cleaned it out, sealed it up real good. I put lighting in it. We have some shelves in it. Again, we have some shelves to move in there. And so we'll have a storage facility. Obviously, that won't have heat or air conditioning, but it'll store a lot of extra materials for us and just some other, maybe material handling equipment, empty boxes, all that type of stuff that won't take up space in here. So I'll do another quick walk around, but I thought I wanted to show you it's an exciting time for TAP. A lot of work to do. Got a lot of stuff to move over here. A lot of books. Is this bigger than our existing facility? And the answer is no. It's about the same. It's almost exactly the same square footage. And that's intentional. We don't want to house things at TAP. I want TAP to just be a stepping stone to get it from people who have donated it to the people who need it. And so we don't want to warehouse stuff. We're not here to build bigger buildings and bigger warehouses. We want to see this be a place where things come in and go back out. And so it's about the same square footage. We're not going to have a lot more space. It will be a lot more efficient space, a lot better space, and you'll see some of that. Let me show you. This place does have a big 10-foot tall overhead garage door, and that's 10-foot wide. I think it's 10-foot wide, 8-foot tall. And it gives us a nice big access to get materials in, easy access, moving boxes of books and so forth. And I'm going to put the office back in here. We can see kind of where we laid it out and started to frame it up a little bit. The roof is fully insulated, but the builder took care of that. So we just want to put drywall on these walls. There will be 2x4s on the wall, much like the ones that are behind that the siding is nailed to. There'll be some on the outside of this. The post, it's a pole barn, so there'll be purlins on the outside that the drywall can be mounted to and the insulation and so forth. So that's what we're looking to do there. Take a quick walk outside. All right, This is not glamorous, but it is a great space to use. We have this trailer. Again, I set it all up with lights, and we're beginning to put shelves, and already I moved our first few boxes of books in here. So we have plenty of space to put stuff in here. I actually have it all set up right now with solar power. So that's working pretty well. I got a little solar panel out here, but give you a view of the new building that we have. All right, again, thank you for your time. Thanks for your prayers and support of TAP Ministries. I think we're at an exciting time. We're going to be able to move into a much more functional building. We'll have better, easier access to allow people to come, to allow groups of churches that have asked about coming and working here. We'll have a nice place set up to work in, a nice environment, all to ourselves, and a place that we can use very well. We'll put the packing tables in here for packing, and a counter in here to work on, a bunch of shelves around the outside to put all of our materials on, and I think this will work real well for us. Again, thank you for your support of TAP.